I would say we've had a pretty good week of practice and training, which is something we haven't been able to do much of recently. We're starting to get some people healthy, which is certainly nice. It's the it's basically having a week between matches has been pretty big. Be able to play our last home match, our last match playing in the field house against Milwaukee, and I thought our team played pretty well, and getting ready for Marquette tomorrow night, and then alumni weekend here against Troy and Texas A&M. Right on the back heels of that. So being able to play 3 home matches right in front of us is something that we're certainly looking forward to. Tomorrow night, another opportunity, second opportunity to play in the Kohl Center, which is something that we're excited about. I know there's a lot of buzz throughout the community, and something that I can't go anywhere without hearing somebody fired up about being able to watch us in person here in town. There are so many people that kind of the field house has been a hard ticket to get to for a while, and so I think we're getting closer and closer to filling that up, and hopefully we can get over the finish line and sell that building out for tomorrow night against a really, really good Marquette team that returns most of their players from a year ago, and a team that finished the year ranked, and I think they've got a new Labero, and everybody else is coming back. It's been a team that's been together for a few years now, so excited to test ourselves against them.
Kelly, you mentioned Lauren, Carlene coming in. Can you just talk about the addition, bringing her onto the staff, and kind of how you envision her role of being, and also just kind of how it came about? Maybe was this in the works for a while or not?
I mean, we've talked on and off for a while, but she's smack dab in the middle of a professional career, and it's although we charter our flights, it's hard to bring somebody back from Turkey or Italy or Moscow or everywhere else that she's been in the world. But the fact that she's going to be playing professionally here in Madison is it's really cool on so many different levels. I mean, it's so cool that pro sports pro volleyball is going to be here in the state of Wisconsin, in Madison. It's going to be cool that she's going to be setting that team, and I think there's an opportunity for her to be able to do both. She's excited about doing both. Just got started. Just got her ID card today. So today was a big day for her. And what her role is going to be, it's a non-coaching role because we're at our coaching limit for our sport. But it'll be a lot of watching a film and game planning and studying ourselves, studying our opponents, and picking her brain. I mean, she's been involved in a lot of high level stuff. Played for some really elite coaches throughout the world. Has played at the absolute highest level. Won a Champions League, won an Olympic medal, and has an incredible amount of experiences that I'm looking forward to picking her brain. I have been picking her brain, and I'm looking forward to being a resource for our players. And you don't need to be a floor coach to be a resource for our players, obviously. And so I think it's a win-win, and really fired up to have her here.
This is your second Kohl Center match coming up, and it's like 2 years from the last one. Do you see that fitting in on that kind of pace, and how do you see it going forward? And could you see ever putting a Big Ten match there and giving up the advantage you might have here?
I don't know. I'll probably have a better answer here, down the road. It's, I mean, there's some pluses and minuses. Love the field house, obviously. It's, that TerraFlex does get a little slick in there, sitting on top of the ice rink, and I forgot about that from the last time. The coach who we played against last time was pretty vocal about what the floor was from time to time, and we were in there practicing yesterday, and you could see, yeah, there's. I just forgot that there's some issues with that, and is that something that we want to continue to invite on ourselves? I'm not positive about it. The first experience was incredible there. Filled it up. It got loud. It got really loud, especially as we started playing a little bit better as the match went on. And so it's not only good for the sport, but it was a great experience for all of us and our players. And we're looking to do things that are great experiences for our players, and we'll see. I mean, you've got two really good teams, really high level teams that are separated by about an hour, and we played a very competitive match at the Fiserv last year with the two teams, and I think it was incredibly entertaining. And I would expect nothing less from this tomorrow. A lot of experienced players that were a part of that match last year.
Obviously, it's only been a couple weeks, but how impressed have you been with Charlie so far? As a freshman, she looks so polished for how young she is. How impressed have you been with her, and kind of how excited are you to keep coaching her?
Yeah, it's not easy being a setter as a freshman. It's if you're kind of in charge of running a team, no matter what the sport is, fresh out of high school, it's a massive jump, and so. What you're looking for is can you build as you're moving. You're not expecting somebody to come right on in and be perfect. You're not expecting them to be in charge. You're not expecting them to necessarily be a leader. You're expecting them to get better. And you're hoping that you've got a culture and a program and things are set in place, and they've got a mindset that where learning can happen, where every week is a little bit better than the previous one. And I've been really impressed with her toughness. Her willingness to learn. We've been careful with how much we've been trying to put on her plate, but she seems, up to this point, she's been able to handle things, and every week it's like, all right, I can handle a little bit more. I can handle a little bit more, and that's what I'm excited about. People, I think, really enjoy playing with her. She's easy to play with. She's fun to play with. She's very stoic in her demeanor, but there is a fire that burns inside of her. Just a huge competitor, and you want toughness in that position. You want competitiveness in that position, and she has a lot of both of those.
Excuse me, I'm a little raspy here. Lola, you've used her the last couple matches as your libero exclusively. What has she shown you that made you want to at least give her that opportunity right now?
Yeah, it's. She's played well. In the two matches that full matches that she's been there, and I think she got subbed in about halfway through the previous match, and has played well in that moment. She. It's hard to knock her down. I mean, or if she gets down, she gets up very, very quick, and which is another characteristic you love to have out of that position. Certainly, as a freshman, somebody that she's got a ton of confidence in herself. Kid plays hard. And you're going to get maximum effort. She's a high energy, high motor kid that I think others play well with her, next to her, and she's done a really good job at the past couple weeks, and we're looking forward to her continuing to build good on top of good.
Along the same lines, you were one of the, I take it, few high-level college coaches who used the two libero rule early on. Is that something you've tried and said, I don't think that's going to work? Do you think you might ever go back to it? What's your experience from having played it in a few high-level matches?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing that. We didn't make the change because of that. You know, it's been reported well and accurately. I mean, Sage has had a couple of surgeries and is still trying to get her way back from that. I would say we're not all the way back from that yet. That's not to mean that there isn't any setbacks, but just the rigors of stacking days on top of each other, and with some of the opponents and how long some of those matches are, and just it's that's been a little bit tougher, and Lola's just she's earned that spot over anybody else. I mean, if we had a combination of two people that were defending and passing of where she is, then then we'd put two of them in. But that hasn't been the case as of right now, and I think it's a good option for teams to have. We've certainly have tried that, but for the time being, I see us having a one libero, frankly, because that's what the numbers are telling us to do, rather than a philosophy on what is better, one or two.